What's up, everybody? I'm on the line to get to the Met. Right off Madison Avenue here in New York City. About to head into the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's a hot day. It's about 88 degrees. What else to do but to chill in a beautiful building like this, see some art, soak in the air conditioning. It's free to get in on Friday, guys. Free for New Yorkers. You gotta show them your license. You pay what you wish. I usually give them a few dollars to donate to this beautiful place. Yeah, here we go, baby. I love this place. I'm in the African art section and the Egyptian. Actually, I'm in the Egyptian section of the museum, guys. This statue is over 2,300 years old. 2,300 years old. It was found in 1921 during an excavation in Thebes, in the courtyard in front of the temple of Mentuhotep. So it was found in 1921 during an excavation, and it's the statue of King Mentuhotep. So it's over 2,000 years old. Wow. All right, so now these are, they call them sarcophagus, coffins, I guess. These are all very prominent Egyptian aristocrats, kings and such, queens. And they were buried in these amazing caskets. The level of detail and the energy that went into making these things were incredible. And a lot of these coffins have photos of the digging sites where they were found. Pretty cool. All right, guys, now I'm in the American wing. I always liked this room. This was always one of my favorite parts of the museum. If you love sculptures, you're gonna like this place. It's beautiful here. If you love grandfather clocks like I do, and this spot is a treat. I love a grandfather clock. I think I always wanted one in my house, but they get very expensive. Wow. It's a pretty nice part of the museum. Lots of stuff to see here, guys. Something is bound to pique your interest. Ladies and gents, I think the main reason I come here is for the paintings. And every so often you'll be smitten by one of them. This one is just one of those, you know. This one is called Preparing for Christmas. Artist is Francis William Edmonds. I'm in the American section again. These are all American artists. Black slaves are preparing some sort of poultry. Looks like a cold winter day. And the setting for the painting is not specified. And it was painted in 1851. This one is incredible. Fur traders. the Missouri River, painted in 1845 by George Bingham. Incredible. Guys, this is one of the most popular paintings in the museum, and one of the more popular paintings in all of in the art world. The George Washington crossing the Delaware River, a frozen river. And it was a key point, turning point in the Revolutionary War. Original painting, not in its original frame, but the painting's original. And he was going to launch an attack across the Delaware River from Pennsylvania to Jersey, to New Jersey. And the British hired German soldiers to do their bidding at the time. And the Americans won this one, defeated the German army, and one of the battles that helped George Washington and his army succeed in defeating the British. Very famous painting here, guys. It's incredible. It's a stunner painted by John Weir in 1874. It's called Forging the Shaft. They're forging a cannon, an artillery cannon. Iron and Cannon Foundry in Cold Spring, New York. Not too far from New York City. It's where they made all the weapons, all the cannons. And the painter was a veteran of the New York State 7th Regiment Militia. He was invested in showcasing the country's successful transition to post-war industrialization. This painting's incredible. Rainy Day in Camp, 1871, Winslow Homer. Tells a story of the miserable conditions in Yorktown. This was during the end of the war, the siege in Yorktown. Look at all those horses, man. This is a painting that caused me to stop in my tracks. It's called Just Moved by Henry Mosler. It's supposed to depict a happy family that just immigrated to America, the significance of the breaking of the bread there. Someone's building a family, and there's food on the table and some beer. Looks like a wedge of cheese. They even got a cat, so just moved. Fresh off the boat, immigrant family. All right, so unidentified artists. These really strike me because they're images of the 5 Points, America's first melting pot. Irish immigrants, African Americans, and the 5 Points were featured in the film Gangs of New York. And if you were to go there today, this would probably be in the Chinatown area. Right near Little Italy. These buildings are no longer there. Everything was razed and taken down. This was painted in the 1820s. No one knows who painted it, but the paintings were very, very famous and displayed in many areas over the decades. This is a pretty interesting section of the museum. Lots of preserved interiors. Really cool. All right, so now I'm in the medieval section, which I'm going to scope out later, but I'm passing through. I'm trying to get to the rooftop. There's a rooftop observation deck, and I wanted to go up there and try to get the sunset. So, but I'm just passing through here. I hope to scope it out a little more. There's just so much to see. I got lost 5 times. This museum is huge. The map sucks. Let's hope I freaking get to my destination. A little speechless here, guys. This is incredible. These preserved interiors. A lot of these places were hotel rooms in France. Incredible stuff. Incredible, incredible, incredible stuff, guys. Returning cattle. Interesting painting. I think these are all French. The theme here is France, so... Yep, French artists. Wow. I'm not the biggest European art fan. I mean, of course, I do like the Rembrandts. I like a lot of it. But I don't, you know, some of it's just not for me. Especially the paintings of aristocrats, and they're kind of like self-portraits. Self-portraits of any various aristocrats and things like that. I don't really go crazy for those. But man, wow. Okay, we're in the Roman section now. This is a very famous piece here, one of the big attractions. Perseus and the head of Medusa. If you guys watched the movie Clash of the Titans, you know the story. Artist Antonio Canova. Took him 2 years to make this thing, 1804. Started in 1804. One of my favorite sections, man. When it comes to the Roman stuff, the sculptures are probably the best. When it comes to sculptures, the Romans, man. I mean, the Roman era during that Renaissance time was all the way up to the 1800s. And even today, I think the best sculptures are created by, you know, in Italy and beyond. Okay, I am in the European sculpture section, 1700s to 1900s. So these statues are, you know, they're not preserved like those Egyptian ones. They're very new. You can tell they're new. They're not exactly new. I mean, some of them are 350 years old. But they're still very striking nonetheless. This one's a popular one. Perseus with the head of Medusa. 1804, Italian artist Antonio Canova. Made of marble, I believe. It's a nice section over here. And over here, guys, this wall. I think this wall that you see here is the original. This was actually the wall of the old building. Yep. 1888. So this is how the museum. It appears that at least part of the museum was renovated since that time. Yeah, this is the old park entrance. It's now inside the building. Really nice. I think this area is going to make for some good photography, so I'm going to put my phone away and start snapping. Wow. No. It took me 2.5 hours to find this painting right here, guys. It's the only original Edward Hopper at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And he used to, he's a New York painter, obviously, typically associated with urban settings. But he used to vacation in, up in Maine and in New England a lot. And his summer home was, he was always surrounded by lighthouses up there and stuff. And so this is called the Lighthouse at Two Lights, painted in 1929, oil painting. Cape Elizabeth, Maine, painted in 29. No human aspect. Usually there's human subjects in his paintings, but not today. Not today. Not here. Not on that day. An original Hopper. I usually go to the Whitney to see his work. There's a lot of stuff in that one, in that museum. But the Whitney is the place to go if you love Hopper like I do. But there's one here in the Met. And with this painter is known for his shades of light. As you can see there, nobody does sunlight like him, man. The tonal range is incredible. Avant-garde is a military term, but it's a reference to a style of art associated with Cubism, Italian Futurism. The purpose of the art rejects conventional ideals of beauty as superficial, and instead, this style of art searches for deeper personal and philosophical truths. Avant-garde artists employed abstraction to varying degrees, a movement that began in Zurich, Switzerland during World War I. The style of art asserts that art is not just painting or sculpture. It's Cubism. One of the most famous Cubists was Pablo Picasso. This is not a Picasso. This is a Picasso. And you got to stare at the paintings to kind of get it, you know. He's painted this in 1913. Finished it in early 1914. The women in chemise. Interesting stuff. I don't know if that's the only Picasso. We're gonna see if we see some more. I really like this one. Still life with a checkered tablecloth. Juan Gris, Spanish artist. Avant-garde, not my favorite style of art, but every so often you'll see one that catches the eye. Yeah, that might be the only Picasso. Just when you think you've seen the whole museum and you just keep finding new areas. I'm in the British section now. And I'm just like freaking flabbergasted by this place. This is an actual dining room from the Lansdowne House, 1766. Imagine a big table, dinner table. I don't know if these statues were there. I'm assuming they were. Wow. That was the Kirtlington Park Room. Now, it's a historic interior, one of 3, installed in 1748. It was a dining room and commissioned by Sir Dashwood, a member of the Parliament, who devoted much of his energy and fortune to the building and furnishing of his family home. It's a stucco. The paneling, the plaster, the decor is stucco, and it's a technique introduced by Italian stucadori living in England. Just look at the stucco here that borders these mirrors. It's incredible. Well, folks, that about does it. I'm out. I think I covered 50% of that museum. If that, I think I did. I could go back there tomorrow and still have half of a museum to see. So, I don't know. I'm looking at the map. It's like, I don't even think I covered 50% of the place. The Middle Eastern art section, I missed so much. The Asian Art Center section, I missed that. There's a place where there's weapons and all that stuff. So I missed a lot of stuff. But man, what a place. Hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Have a good one, folks.